So by God's hand, we can actively celebrate victory by serving. And God says, here's how you celebrate and when you celebrate, and it's before the victory's won. Those are big celebrations. Jesus shows up to give instructions about serving one another before he's victorious. That's why we read John 13. Wash each other's feet. Serve one another. Then when he gives instructions about the bread and cup, do this in his crucifixion. Then what happens, which you're not expecting, 3 days later? The resurrection. What's that celebration? Easter. Actively celebrating the victory by doing what? Service. You put together a lamb and it's on the table. You can't go outside, no takeout. Everybody's there. If you're just one person alone, you're going to go over to your neighbor's house and it's all inside with no takeout. What's the image? This is communal. This isn't about just you. This is what's inside your household. Make this a family time. The blood is a sign for those in the house. It's a sign for those who are in the house that, hey, they had to take their faith into action. Take the blood, participate with me. God is the one going into battle. He's doing all the work. But this is the first point that Israel, the land of Goshen, has been asked to participate. Do something. Put your faith into action. Then it's a sign for God on the house. For what? Faith has been active here. Part of your celebrating God's victory is doing what he's asked you to do on his terms. The victory party gives us reasons to tell other people about God's work. Faith is agreeing to life on God's terms. Faith has motion to do what God says to do. You're sitting there, I like lamb, mutton, it's good stuff, rack of lamb, yeah, good, God love that. I don't like blood, I ain't putting that on the lintel. God says what? You don't obey me? Who receives the consequence of your disobedience? Good. Faith and action is for you and your family and for those around you. Grace was given those who obediently and literally did at a specific date, at a specific time, what God specifically required. Who's the primary recipients of God evidencing himself to the people? Israel. The people of faith. And God says, I want you to celebrate this from your generation to generation to generation. When the neighbor walked over and said, why are you putting blood on there? God said, this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't like what you're doing. Why would God ask you to do that? It's a sign for my family that this is what God's asked us to do. And I'm giving you this opportunity. Do you want some blood? Here's how you do this. So there's people who watch this. Then their kid died that night, let's say. And like, oh, y'all leaving? We want to follow that faith that you have in that God too. Can we go out of town with you? And Moses already said in the rules, God has given the rules for the victory party, right? If a stranger wants to join the party, let them in. Here are the rules in which they have to do to be a part of the family. Sounds like what we go through today a little bit, doesn't it? Why are you going to church on Sunday to meet with a bunch of goofy people? God's asked me to do that. And let me tell you about the great things that are happening there. Well, Jesus died on the cross for you, and this is for your sins. I don't believe in that whole blood thing. That's goofy. This is what he asked his son to do, and he did it. And by the way, we're getting ready to celebrate that. So by God's hand, we can actively celebrate victory by serving. God has won. What was the role of the Israelites in the victory party? Put your faith at work. Let me see it.